The Community Foundation garners its support from the community, from the public. It grows because individuals, businesses, and government entities and other nonprofits believe it will help the continual growth of the community year after year. A community foundation is also unlike other nonprofit charities that focus on specific areas of interest, such as healthcare, disaster relief, which has been in the news a lot lately, the arts, special causes such as poverty, heart disease, or education. The support provided by a community foundation is not limited to one area. The community foundation looks to the well-being of the total community, not just one part. It serves as a builder and caretaker of permanent community resources, service provider to donors, grant maker, catalyst, and collaborator within the community. Because community foundations reflect the changing nature of their communities, they are often as different from one another as the communities that they serve. The mission or focus of a foundation changes depending on the philosophy, stage of growth, size and composition of the asset base. Most public charities provide direct and specific services to the community, such as feeding the hungry, providing shelter, developing health care, education. They are what people think of when they use the term nonprofits. When donors make gifts to these organizations, they are usually making a gift to help the organization perform a specific service. On the other hand, a community foundation, while also a public charity, is primarily a grant maker and not a direct service provider. Rather than focusing on serving a particular community need, the Community Foundation serves donors and the broad needs of the community. Finally, like other public charities, community foundations must continue to meet charitable standards through the IRS to keep their status. In addition, many community foundations, including ours, subscribe to the national standards of the U.S. Community Foundations Accreditation Program, something Amber is very familiar with, spending long hours working on that. This certifies a community foundation has met or exceeded federal and state law requirements in practice and by policy. The accreditation process is rigorous, and undertaking it demonstrates the community foundation's commitment to accountability and excellence to its donors, its community, policymakers, and the public. Everyone's been looking at the slides that have been showing up here that highlight some of the things that have happened over the last 25 years. Tonight we are recognizing the accomplishments of the Marshfield Area Community Foundation and the things we've been associated with since our beginnings in 1993. Many of these are brick and mortar projects scattered throughout our community, some of which are ongoing, and you'll hear more about those tonight. Others are not so visible, but play an important role in our quality of life, such as the grants we provide, scholarships we administer, as well as supporting programs like Speak Your Piece, Vital Signs, and Keep Kids Warm, to name just a few. But really, what we want to celebrate tonight are the people who have made it all happen. That includes the individuals who had the vision to recognize the need of our community and our foundation, made it happen all those years ago, to the community leaders that saw a need and with our help raised funds for capital projects we all benefit from today. To thank our partners in these efforts, in particular, the City of Marshfield, who has played a vital role working in tandem with us on a number of projects. To the many volunteers who spend countless hours making the Marshfield area a better place. To the leadership and staff of our foundation, the people we've been blessed with over the years as we've continued to grow. And last, but certainly not least, our donors. Because without you, none of this would have happened. And because of you, it all has. So thank you very much for being here tonight. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Amber, who has a few words.
Thank you, and thank you all for coming tonight. As Marty mentioned, our purpose here tonight is to thank you. Without you, none of this would have happened. All the people in this room have a lot to be proud of. 25 years ago, Ann and Betty Adler came to Marilyn Hardiker and asked her to start a community foundation. After saying, "What's a community foundation?" she got to work. She found a board of directors and a $25,000 match to what Ann and Betty were starting. Can you imagine in 1993, $25,000? Today we have 17.2 million. We've really gone above and beyond. What a history we have. We now have 215 funds, each with its own identity and purpose. We've been involved in most of the good things you see in town. All the slides you've been watching here tonight. The Wildwood Park Pavilion, Miller Park, Hackman Field, Graham Olson Youth Baseball Fields, Greasy Park, Weber Park, Hamas Park, Wenzel Family Plaza, the Boson Tennis Complex, Graham Disc Golf, on the Marshfield Skate Park, Tiny Tiger Intergenerational Center, the ACE Academy, the Outdoor Learning Center at the high school, and even the building you're sitting in now, the 2nd Street Community Center. Our biggest project to date had been the Library Community Center, but that has now been surpassed by the athletic facilities for our community. We were involved with the zoo exhibit from getting the bears here. It might be interesting for you to know that bears need an airplane ticket to move to Marshfield. We took care of that. And the building of the facility. We're the fiscal agent. What that means is we accept the donations. We're the nonprofit, so you get a tax credit, but we also pay the bills for these things. So we're happy to be the middleman and see all the great things we can do here in the community. Our mission is to improve the quality of life by connecting the people that care with the causes that matter. Wow, we've really made that happen here in town, and it's all because of you. I'd like to honor a few people here tonight. Marilyn Hardiker couldn't be here, and she really felt badly about that. So tonight's presentation is being recorded, so I'll make sure that she's able to see it. Thank you to our current board members, Marty Reinhardt, the chair, Ben Bauer, the vice chair, Jim Bartelt, Scott Larson, Lori Belanja, Michelle Bornke, Lori Brubaker-Davis, Justin Casperson, Lori Gropp, Graham Olson, Diane Veal, Ron Wilczek, and Don Zeiss. We have other people who volunteer and help us out without being on the board from time to time. Randy Gershman, Carolyn Schuline, Ed Engelhardt, Stephanie Hayes, Jamie Seorick, Elise Redding, Paula Giroux, and Bill Heiding. We have many past board members, and without their help, we wouldn't be where we're at today. Michael Adamson, Pat Anderson, Joe Byrell, Kim Baltus, Matt Barrier, Carol Berg, Bill Berry, Reverend Eric Biederman, Alan Billings, Joyce Billings, Michelle Bornke, Pastor Buchanan, John Bujalski, Craig Cleveland, Tom Cunningham, Tim Dietz, Dennis DeVetter, Brenda Dillenberg, Charlotte Diorkson. Ed Engelhardt also served on our board. Georgette Frazier, Randy Gershman, Rick Heinzen, Bill Heiding, Adam Hocking, Patty Huddle, Deb Jantz, Paula Giroux, Irene Johnson. I know this is a long list, but this is amazing, the people that we all know here in town that have helped out. Steve Johnson, Mary Carroll, Brian Keefe, Reverend Mark Kruger, John Adam Cruz, Amanda Lane, Father Jim Logan, Stacy Mara, Carl Meisner, Keith Montgomery, Bill Mort, Reverend Dean Pingle, Pat Saucerman, Tim Schultz, David Smith, Aaron Staub, Pat Sturr, Keith Stry, Jane Wagner, Terry Wilczek, Steve Yorty, and Sean Z. That's a pretty amazing list. Our past directors, in 25 years, we've only had 4 directors. That's amazing in itself. Bob Heck, the first director, passed away a couple of weeks ago. So If he could have, he would have been here tonight. Joyce Billings is here, as well as Dean Marquardt. Over the past 10 years, we've given out an annual Ann and Betty Adler Community Service Award. These people go above and beyond and are very active in our community, and I'd like to stand so we could recognize the people that are here tonight. In 2009, we gave it to Roy Covert for Winter Wonderland. 2010, Dennis Boucher for his work with Winter Wonderland and the dog park. 2012, to Don Zeiss, and I know he's here. He would stand up. He's involved in everything imaginable, Habitat for Humanity, the seniors. He was here today helping us set up. He's a board member. John Scheuer, in 2013, he went home. The Brewers took precedent at this point. Jane Wagner's here on the side. She's been involved with so many school projects and Rotary, and a good example of community service. 2015, Dan Umhafer, he could not be here tonight. 2017, Al Nystrom, all the work he does with Rotary Winter Wonderland. In 2018, this year's award winner was Paula Giroux, everything she does for the community through United Way and in her spare time. So I'd like to recognize these people with a round of applause. I know that's a long list of people, but as you can see, it's really been a community effort to get us to 25 years. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Marty. We promised a short program, and we're going to do that.
I mentioned to, I think, Floyd when we were just chit-chatting that when I came to Marshfield in 1985, we were so excited about coming to the community, but when you think about what Marshfield was like in 1985 to compared to what it is now, it's just remarkable, all the things that have happened over those 25 years. But the Community Foundation, although we're excited about and thankful for what's happened in the past, it's all about the future and what we can do to continue to make Marshfield a better place. So we thought we would take this opportunity while we're gathered all together, reflecting on the last 25 years, and talk about some current projects that we're associated with. So the first one we want to talk about is the Marshfield Pet Shelter, and Bill Heiding will be giving us an update on what's happening with that. Let's give Bill a hand.
Thanks, Marty, and thank you all for being here this evening. I just want to give you a quick update. Karen Rao, who is the executive director of the area pet shelter, was unable to make it today. She was going to speak. But basically, she's going to be doing that job full-time shortly, and so we're back on track. Our goal in that project for both Part A and Part B, as we call it, of the project is about 1.3 million. We have not gone public with it yet, but we have 1.1 million. A great deal of it's got to do with the fact that we were able to get $350,000 matching from the Adler Foundation, and we matched that 350 with 350 more. The city gave us 260 total, and we've got other major gifts. Hamas is also one of the leading gift givers. And so we're working on finishing that project up, and we're doing that shortly, and then we'll go out for bids, and hopefully next year we'll be able to build that. That's our plan at this time, and I'll keep it that short. Thank you very much.
Okay, then we want to have an update on the Cougar exhibit from Justin Casperson. Justin, give Justin a hand. Didn't bring the cats with you?
I didn't, but we're going to actually play bingo, so get your cards out. Do B9. I'm just kidding. I'm here to talk about the Cougar exhibit. All of you know about the bear exhibit. J.P. Adler was very involved in the bear exhibit. It was huge that we got that done in 2015. In 2017, we added the maintenance building, which allowed the opportunity to expand our Cougar exhibit. Our Cougar exhibit is going to be moving from ultimately the east side to the west side. And that will allow the opportunity to add ADA restrooms and expand the Cougar exhibit by 10%. At your place, you should have some pamphlets, some trifold brochures that kind of talk about a little bit further. In the brochure, it talks about the different donors. Patricia and Floyd are here tonight. They've been very instrumental on the program and the development of the Cougar exhibit. And we also are going to be adding a water display. The water display will be talking about water quality and how it impacts our community. We've been working with Marshfield Utilities, the Groundwater Guardians, as well as the Economic Development Board. This is set to be completed for design in 2018 and construction to start in March of 2019. If you're interested in the project, feel free to grab the brochure or stop by my office afterwards.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. And as Amber mentioned, one of the most ambitious projects from a dollars and cents standpoint is what's happening with the Marshfield athletic facilities. And Ann, are you going to be the person talking about this? Kurt's not going to go up and help you? All right, let's give Ann a hand.
Well, you said this is a short program. You should not have invited me up here. This has been fun. I have been involved in the Marshfield community and fundraising and know all of you, and it's just a joy to be back here celebrating 25 years of amazing people giving to amazing projects. And I'm so proud to be part of this community. Some people think I grew up here, but I did not, but I'm glad to call it home now. We have been involved in the Marshfield Athletic Complex for the past year, and we are really excited about where that project is going. Marshfield has kept up on a lot of things, but the athletic facilities for our outdoor athletes hasn't been one of those. Kurt and I got involved in the tennis project, which was a Marshfield Area Community Foundation project, when we weren't going to have any more home tennis meets, and we didn't want to drive every Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, and got involved with the Community Foundation to build that. And so it was just natural to get involved with this amazing project with a group that is really doing wonders for the community. It's going to be here for another 60, 70 years, just like Beal Stadium was here and supported us so well. We are at 6.6 million. We are really close to hitting the goal that we need to hit. We've had great support from the Marshfield School District. Really proud to work with them. Brad and Kendra Hazley and Terry Franklin are leading this project, doing an amazing job. Again, there's a brochure on that project on the tables as well. I'd encourage you to get involved. This is something that, as I said, will serve our community, our students well. Active students stay out of trouble, and that's our goal here. So we really appreciate any support from the Community Foundation, from all of the donors, and if you have any questions, there's a whole group in back that would be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
So there's a lot going on, and it's a wonderful thing to see, and we all benefit from it. But sometimes things happen that we can't anticipate, and it's not always good news. And when tragedy occurs, a community is there to support people. We're all very familiar with the fire that took place not too long ago at the Wesley United Methodist Church. And it was a tragedy for that congregation, but in addition to that, it was a tragedy for the Marshfield Area Respite Center, who had been working out of that location. The good news is they found an alternative location to continue their good work at Faith Lutheran Church. But as we thought about what was going on and how we could help, we decided that we, as a community foundation, needed to do more. So I'd like to have Marilyn Seidel-Kramer come up, if she's here. And we have a presentation to make. So Amber's going to present a check. So on behalf of the Marshfield Area Community Foundation, we have a contribution of $25,000 that we would like to make to the Marshfield Area Respite Care Center.
Take that to the bank.
I can only thank everyone. I was less than amazed at the kindness the community has bestowed upon us. Can't tell you how devastated I was. Not only is my work, but it also is my church. So I spend a lot of time there, and we've done good things. I'm the original director. We're also a state and a national program from the Helen Bader Foundation in Milwaukee and the Brookdale Foundation out east. They did an initiative. Dr. Susan Mickle was a solid group of medical people and senior people from the community. And they hired me, and I was up against a lot of people that were probably a lot more educated with a lot more experience. And they asked me right out at that interview, they said, why do you think that you should have this job? And I still say, it's because I have this and I have this. And they hired me, and I still am the only original director from out east. Out of the I don't even know, there were 16 daycares that started in 1994, and I'm still the only original director of all their daycares, which is 367. So I'm very loyal and I'm very dedicated. And like I said, I thank you all so very much. That's amazing. I still am pretty devastated about the whole thing, but with help from the individuals in the community, and we like I said, we just can't thank you enough. So thank you so much for having us.
Okay, so we've kind of come full circle. We've talked about all the things that have happened, but one of the changes that's taking place with the Community Foundation is we have a new home, and it's very right and fitting that we're here at this renovated facility and enjoying each other's company in the community center, which is going to be the new home for the Marshfield Area Community Foundation. So if you haven't had a chance, you can go out that back door, and Kurt Bozen will give you a tour, because they're doing the work back there. We appreciate your help with that. We hope that we'll be able to be in our new home sometime before the first of the year. I heard a rumor that foundation board members have to help move. Is that true? Or? Okay. Anyway, so we're very excited about that. And again, it's a sign of how the Community Foundation has grown along with the community, and how we're all benefiting from the good work that the foundation is doing, from the support we have from donors, from the creative people we have in our community that continue to make Marshfield a better place for all of us. So as we wrap up, before I forget, I want to thank Paul and Rita Meyer for bringing the beer and the wine and the food. Thank you for that.
Ruth and Gary Aldenbrook for the desserts.
Okay.
Ruth and Gary Aldenbrook for the desserts. Also want to thank Ruth and Gary Aldenbrook for providing all of our desserts.
With that, I think we're going to call it a successful evening, and hopefully the Brewers are going to be successful too. I didn't check with an update on the score, but thank you again for coming, and thank you again for all your support.
And pleasure. There's a ton of good food and drinks and desserts, so please, please help yourself.